Hi, folks. Welcome back to Vino Experienza by David Alexander. I just am so pleased to see that this channel is growing. Ask that you continue to watch our videos, share the videos with your friends, invite people to become part of this wine experience. I am really enjoying sharing some insights, some thoughts, just some not tricks of the trade, but maybe secrets of the trade. As we would say it. And I wanted to continue just to give you maybe some insights and maybe some different wine experiences that we're having, and just to share with you some things about wine that I think is really fun and interesting. And today we're going to be talking about red blends. Now, red blends is in the domestic market one of the fastest growing segments of domestic wine consumption. Wine purchases are going to be red blends. Part of the reason for that is they're just easy to drink. They're great occasion wines. Many of them are also thematically based, so you can find wines that are basically based on a theme that can apply for like different situations or parties. They're usually a great value. What's nice about red blends is that because of the fact that they are blended grapes, in the old days, it was basically the wines that didn't find a home, that basically were leftover grapes that I call them kitchen sink wines. Because you know how you kind of throw in the leftovers in the kitchen sink and make something out of it? Well, that's what happening in the red blend industry as well. Now, some of those red blends now have become a little bit more focused on certain varietals, and they are basically staying the same year in and year out. The grapes that are being used are consistent. Like, for example, Prisoner Red Blend is a Zinfandel based red blend. Um, Others are kind of a mixture. And then you get to high end. Basically, we have a red blend that is made by Andy Erickson. That it's like $100 a bottle. Andy Erickson of Screaming Eagle fan. So anyway, it's becoming a thing now where you're finding red blends in domestic. Now we're talking domestic, because when you look at international, Bordeaux's have always been a red blend. Your Rhone blends have always been blends. We're talking Chateauneuf de Pop, a blend of up to 13 different varietals, usually based in Syrah, Grenache, and Mourvedre. And so, anyway, these blends have been obviously around many years, and in our domestic consumption, especially production, especially here in California, has been kind of a mishmash of different grapes, basically easy drinking. But now it's becoming a little bit more sophisticated. So these are becoming more food worthy wines. But in our California lifestyle, we basically are drinking wines both for a sipping and also for food. And the wine we're going to talk about today, Agitator Red Blend. Now, many of you know I have actually been in love with Agitator for many years. Stephen DeCosta, I met him on our company's trip to Paso Robles, and we talked about this wine in specific because Agitator has been just one of those really cool red blends that I've always recommended to people. Hey, listen, grab this wine. It's really fun. It's very different. Um, and part of it, what makes it different is the fact that this bottle is a red blend that is bourbon barrel aged. And barrel aging now has really become a thing, both in the spirits industry and in the wine industry. Many wines are having some kind of a barrel aging. I think wine is that kind of began it as far as I could tell. And then now it's kind of flowed over to the spirits. A lot of scotches are going to be sherry oak casks or multiple cask, double barrel cask, that type of thing. So it creates a level of structure in the wine or in the spirit, because those barrels are going to add some flavor profile to it. This particular wine, Agitator, has been aged in bourbon barrels, usually up to about 3 months, basically, is what he does. And now, we don't know the specific blend of grapes in here. I know that there's going to be some Zinfandel, there's going to be some Cab, and the way that the wine is responding to the oak, the bourbon barrel, intensifying flavor. I don't think that it's pushing up the ABV, but the ABV on this is quite high, 15.9%. So it's getting close to that upper level of 16%, where yeast will actually die because of the higher alcohol content. But this is such an easy drinking. I think that what's happening also with the bourbon barrel, there's a filtration going on, cleans the wine, causes the edges to become softer. And so you're taking a red blend that has a nice profile, but you're upgrading it a little bit because of that oak, that influence with the oak and that bourbon barrel influence. And so this is quite nice. This usually has been a little bit higher in cost. They just lowered the cost on this bottle to $19.99. And I think that partly they used to have a really distinctive Prohibition era style bottle that they served this in. And now it's gone back to just your standard wine bottle. But the juice inside of it is still quite good, quite good. Let me just have a drink of this. Gosh, that is good. Now there's a little bit of that spice note after your fruit beginning, and then a beautiful lingering finish, which is really the case of most elegant wines will have some kind of a finish afterwards. It just doesn't die. So the finish on here lingers afterwards. Part of that could be the ABV, the alcohol content in here, but I think part of it's just an excellent wine. It is made to not be washed out with just fruit, and that bourbon barrel is definitely causing, again, the edges are soft, but at the same time it maintains its minerality, its acidity going through. Great wine to have with friends. I would say this is also going to be a great barbecue wine during the course of summer, when you're grilling those meats on your family gatherings. Think about the Agitator. Now, one of their sayings on the Agitator is, "Here's to rule breakers, the rabble rousers, the thieves, and the troublemakers." So great. This is coming to us from the O'Neill group. They also do Robert Hall wines, at Total Wine and More. The Hall Ranch wines are made by them. Intercept, Charles Wilson's Intercept is also done by them. Line 39 is done by them. It's a large wine group that does a lot of different wines. You can find Cloudbreak, and Firebrand is also part of their brands. And some of these groups are becoming quite large. And I think the thing is, they have certain brands, and Agitator is definitely one of those brands within that group that is just done in excellent fashion. So go out and grab a bottle, enjoy it this summer as you do your outside grilling. Enjoy it with your friends, your family. I enjoyed this last night. I got off work and came home and had a nice glass at around 11 o'clock, and it was a perfect nightcap. So, hey guys, love you, appreciate you. Again, hit like, extend any comments you would like, any questions you may have, and we'll try to feature those inside future videos. Thank you so much for your attention, and do share our videos. Thank you so much. Bye bye.